Welcome to Promo Insiders, the ASI Media podcast that tackles the issues that matter most to the promotional products industry, from hard-hitting news to fun trends and analysis. I'm Theresa Hegel, Executive Editor of Digital Content, and today I'm joined by Ira Neaman, CEO of top 40 supplier Vantage Apparel, and John Lynch, President of Lynka, an award-winning apparel company based in Poland. Today, we're going to be talking about Vantage's recently announced acquisition of Lynka and what it means for the industry. Thanks for joining me, guys.
Thank you.
So I guess, Ira, can you tell us a little about how this acquisition came about and why it makes sense?
Well, John and I, in fact, it was Michelle had introduced
Michelle Bell from ASI. Right?
Michelle Bell about 10 years ago. And it was kind of, we just so much in common. Vantage's, core staff is really, the heritage is Polish.
Okay.
And much of the factory floor operates Polish. And so it just seemed to be such a natural fit. And John being born in Jersey, it was just, we had so much in common that we could have really just realized that there was a, if you will, a brotherhood or kismet developing. So it's been great.
Yeah, and you guys both like decoration. You're both like kind of award-winning decorators. Like, how does that kind of fit into the mix? Like, how does that kind of attention to decoration mesh well?
Both companies are very well known for their decoration expertise. Vantage has been 44 years, John 29 years, and again, there's just a quality built into each company's culture. And again, the similarities between the companies just sort of seem to make a compelling case that we should work together.
Okay. So you guys have known each other, like you said, for a long time. Why was now the right time to join forces? John, do you want to take that?
Yeah, sure, with pleasure. So, just before the call, I went and checked my archives, and I found that Michelle had introduced us almost exactly 10 years ago. I am an American from New Jersey. I moved to Poland in 1991, so a long time ago. But over the years, because my family's still in the States, I'm coming back to New Jersey very often. And when I come back, I very often meet the American promotional product suppliers. I wrote to Michelle and said, I'm looking to meet some interesting people in the industry to find out what's going on and who's around New Jersey. And Michelle said, you got to go to Vantage Apparel. It turns out it's about 20 minutes from the place I grew up. So it was an incredible coincidence. And so Ira and I have known each other for 10 years. We had 100 lunches together over the years and gotten to know each other. And what's happening, I founded Lynka in 91. And over those 29 years, I've had a number of different shareholders. And recently, I was in business together with a German company. And it just was time for a change. I reached out to Ira and said, listen, we've been talking for 10 years about how similar our companies are. How about we put our money where our mouth is? And the timing was right. Of course, COVID happened in the middle of it, so it slowed things down a little bit. But literally yesterday in Warsaw, Poland, we signed the deal, and Lynka is now a part of the Vantage Group, and we're really excited.
Awesome. So I know one thing that is important for both of you guys is on-demand printing and the ability to do single piece orders. Can you guys talk a little bit about that growth of on-demand just in general, but also how the acquisition is going to help you guys kind of deliver those things better for both companies?
From an expertise standpoint, Vantage's core has always been built based off embroidery. Mm-hmm. And then, because we've been doing that for all the 44 years, we've added screen print a dozen years ago and have developed a strong expertise there. Sort of complementary from the other side, and John would speak to it much better, is the newest trend, which is DTG. And so, John, you want to maybe pick that up?
Yeah. So, the bottleneck to small orders in the past made it hard for promotional product suppliers to service these very small orders, even single piece orders. And what we've seen, of course, in the last 5, maybe 10 years has been an explosion in print on demand. As in our many lunches, we were experimenting with print on demand over the years. We both bought similar equipment. And I think Lynka, I think print on demand is probably more advanced in the States. In Europe, it's moving quickly now. And we finally made a decision to go seriously into it with investment in Kornit equipment, which are the kind of the Mercedes-Benz of the printing industry.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's growing very fast. It's a big opportunity. It's very much a part of the promotional industry, of course, touching on other sides. And I think that Vantage and Lynka will be working closely together in offering clients, bi-continental solutions for print on demand. So this, we're both, the two companies are truly among the most renowned for high quality garment decoration as it is now. And frankly, the print on demand, the digital printing side is technically a lot easier than screen printing or embroidery. So I think we're not going to have any issues on the technology side. It's really about IT and integrations with clients, and Vantage is quite advanced in that. So I think we're going to have a really interesting proposal to the market very soon.
So yeah, as far as processing orders, like how are things going to change now? Like, is it going to be different the way both of the companies are handling things?
We're again, as this is all as of yesterday, so the plan is to get it, to get the synergies between the two companies and create APIs working between. But again, it's to provide a solution for distributors that will give them a global solution, and that's what we're going to bring. So in Europe, Lynka's trust and reliability, and then in the States, Vantage's trust and reliability with the distributors all of a sudden gives sort of a peace of mind to the marketplace that they've got reliable partner that they can feel comfortable with.
Okay. Did you have anything you wanted to add, John?
Yeah, I would say as we were developing our print on demand solutions in one of my many trips to New Jersey, we sat down and Ira introduced me to the term no touch, no call orders. And that was, I don't know, maybe that was 5 years ago. And I said, what are no touch, no call orders? He said, well, we're for very small orders, we're trying to take out the processing part of it, and the clients just drop the orders into our system, especially for very small orders. And then we don't have all that back and forth, sending an offer and getting a counter proposal and stuff. So I would say that's the first I learned it from Ira. Both companies now are doing this, so we're doing it every day. We got orders coming in overnight into the system, processing them without a customer service touching them. Of course, we have the customer service to handle complicated needs, consulting on product, but simple single piece orders really don't have room for calling and emailing and talking about. And so I'd say we have, hundreds and probably thousands of orders coming in already for quick turnaround single piece production.
Right. Because if you start going too much back and forth, you're losing kind of any like profit you'd be making off of that little order. And it sounds like you guys have, even before you were joined up, you were like learning from each other and getting a lot out of like the relationship. So it's cool that it's now like a formal thing. So as far as like Lynka, will it still be known as Lynka, or are you guys going to change it to like Vantage Europe, or like how does that work? Like, are you guys still going to be like a separate kind of like distinct entity within Vantage?
I think initially each company will maintain its identity, but clearly the marketplace will know us as one. Mm-hmm. So transactions initially, the Lynka transactions will be there. The Vantage transactions will be here. But the knowledge share and the best practices, and then ultimately APIs being built to allow distributors to transmit orders server to server, that's all going to be part of what's going to happen probably fairly rapidly.
Okay. One thing that you guys had, I think, mentioned in the press release was that, global uniform programs have been important for both companies over the last few years, and that this acquisition is going to make that easier to service those markets. Can you talk a little bit about, the uniform programs and how that's going to be better now? I guess, John, we can start with you.
Well, I think in these many conversations over the years, we've seen trends and shared our views on trends. In this particular situation, the Vantage brings to us is the Vantage brand. Mm-hmm. So Lynka doesn't have a brand of our own clothing. We are selling other people's brands, and we're going to continue to sell other people's brands because the European marketplace wants them and demands them. But Vantage has spent decades building an incredible product line that pretty much doesn't exist in Europe. So one thing we have is for all the uniform programs that Vantage services in the States, those distributors are working quite often with global corporations who really want a solution for Europe as well. And until now, it wouldn't be there. So one thing we won't be able to start this tomorrow, but one of our things on our short list is getting the Vantage product range in our collection here so that we can offer those distributors the same service and product that Vantage has.
John, Ira, did you have something you wanted to add about the uniforms?
Yeah, no, it's exactly as John's saying, the ability to have the same garments. So uniforms like to be consistent globally. Companies want global looks. So with John having inventory that matches our inventory in the States and the ability to decorate the exact same way with the exact equipment gives John has anywhere in Europe from 1 day to Germany, 3 days into the UK. So the footprint that we'll be able to establish for fast food restaurants, airlines, all types of, the uniform programs that distributors are able to acquire, we're going to be able to provide a distributor a solution that will be of tremendous value to their client. So, and that's what it's all about.
Okay. Yeah, when you think the word uniform should mean everything is uniform. So now you can actually provide that. So as far as the future, like you guys said, this is super new. It's just, the deal has just been inked. There's a lot to work out. But what are you guys most excited for going forward? And we'll start with John and then, close out with Ira.
I would say that for me, the most exciting thing is to connect the Lynka managers and specialists with their counterparts in Vantage so we could begin a multi-level sharing of experience. Because Ira and I have been doing it for 10 years, but most of our people haven't dealt with each other because we've been separate companies. So I shared with my team today, I wrote that this is really special combination because one, it's a company that's 20 minutes from where I grew up, so it's emotionally very, very nice. Two, it's a company that's really similar from Lynka. And three, I said, when you walk through the Vantage production department, you're going to feel like you're at home because everybody's speaking Polish and the signs on the machines are in Polish. And my people in Poland here couldn't believe it, actually. So I know I'm going to be able to send people over, even those who don't speak English, and they're going to be able to learn a lot. So where Vantage are, probably, I guess, certainly the largest embroidery company in America, but probably one of the biggest in the world with incredible experience and expertise, way ahead of Lynka. Lynka's in 30 years of screen printing won more awards than anybody. So I think we may have a little bit to share with Vantage there. So I think the information exchange is going to be exciting for our people. The second thing is just getting the Vantage product line rolling over here. It'll take us some time, but it's also really exciting.
Awesome. How about you, Ira? What's exciting for you?
Yeah, just the concept of scale, the ability for, we work with both companies work with the smallest distributors, mid-size, and the largest that have enterprise customers. So now we have a scale that's unparalleled globally. So it's going to make there'll be a lot of interesting discussions with our customers on both sides, and the ability to provide really strong solutions. As well as we both have exceptional compliance standards and ESG, so we're very aware of the European standards there, and there'll be a lot of good buzz and a lot of good business to be had, and really very much looking forward to this long term.
That's awesome. And I think that you guys bring up a really good point too about, sometimes acquisitions happen and the two companies, don't necessarily mesh well, but it sounds like you guys have so many things in common that this is like a natural fit, and it's not going to be, there won't be the snags that sometimes there are in these kinds of situations.
And that's what makes this partnership so wonderful, is the cultures are so aligned, the capabilities, and just, John's approach to business and mine are just very much in sync.
That's wonderful. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for spending a couple minutes today talking with me. Again, this is Promo Insiders, and I'm Theresa Hegel with ASI Media.
Thank you.
Dziękuję.